Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm so glad you joined me today. God put on my heart to share the reality of what's really going on in my life. And sometimes it can be hard because we look at social media and everybody puts their best and brightest face out there, which I am usually positive, but there's also this reality that I don't share very much. And that is, I process grief a lot. It's a lot of what I do in my work and what I help others do too. And so I thought I'd share a little bit about more about what's going on with the reality of my life right now. And the truth is, Mother's Day is coming up. And Mother's Day for me holds a lot of mixed emotions. As a daughter, as a mother, as a grandparent, as a partner, and I know that there's a lot of others out there who might be feeling the same way I am, who, as a 50-year-old or midlifer, that maybe you just didn't expect life to be quite like this. And what that means is your parents have passed away, you have estranged relationships with your children and your family members. And that can be so hard and difficult to navigate through, especially when holidays come up. And as women, a lot of us, our identity is evolved around being a mom or a daughter or a sister or a parent. But yet the reality is that isn't always perfect and it can get really messy. And just to be honest, right now I haven't seen my son in over 6 months and I really miss him. And I live really far away from my daughter and grandchildren, and I really miss them so much. And I haven't talked to my sister in a really long time, and I miss her so much. Allergies are getting to me. My nose is itchy right now. My mom passed away in 2013, and I grieved her a lot before she passed away because she was struggling with dementia even a decade before she passed away. So I didn't recognize my mother in the woman that she was when she died. And it's going to be this month she passed away. But yeah, I don't know if you're like me, but I didn't really respect my mom or really appreciate her until after she passed away. And I could really respect the woman she was and how much she did and showed up in the world and showed up for our family. She was always so nurturing and loving and always there to be so generous. She was so generous with her heart, with her time, and I loved her so much. She was such a good person, and she showed up in the world with so much joy, and I miss that. And in 2018, my dad passed away, and you might have heard me talk about that too, but what I don't talk a lot about is that I've had estranged relationships with my children. And it hurts so bad because as a single parent, my whole life was focused on them. My whole life was evolved around trying to make life better for them. And I had this drive to work hard and to have these dreams in my heart to make life better for them. Sorry, my nose is itchy. Allergies are coming out. It's springtime, which I love springtime, but I do have some spring allergies. So sorry, my nose is itching a little bit. And so as a single parent, their father lived far away from home. So it was a situation where they would go see their father during spring breaks or the summer, and it was hard because they weren't with their father, like maybe every other weekend or every few days, where the time apart was easier to deal with for all of us. It was like they were gone, and they were gone for weeks at a time or months at a time. And it was so hard because I had so much love for them, um, and just that longing to be closer to family and to be closer to them. But I was always really close to my dad, and so I always wanted my children to have a good relationship with their father, so I encouraged the time for them to be with them, and in fact, at one point, I had them go live with their father when I was trying to get some stuff or figured out in my own personal life, a mess that I'd gotten into, which is a story for another time. But, I had them go live with their dad. But what a lot of people don't realize is that their dad was, um, in the what how do I say this? I wanna be careful how I say this, but he was in the law enforcement, and he basically used that to his advantage and the situation that I was in to my disadvantage and exploited it, and, um, my children ended up getting taken away from me. And so it was so difficult because I had so much love for my kids, and so it was hard, very, very difficult. So because of some of the situations that have happened in my life, I as my children have grown and become adults, they have healing to do, and I totally understand that. And I didn't really start my healing journey until I was in my 40s, but they have chosen at different times in their life to distance themselves from me, and at some circumstance to blame me a lot for the situations that they're in. Um, and I understand. I completely understand that, but it hurts because I just have so much love, and I wish I could see the love that I have for them. Um, but anyway, my point is that right now I'm going through a situation where my son isn't returning my calls, isn't responding to me, and it hurts so much because I just love him. And there's been times where him and I have just been really, really close, and it's hard for me to understand. And so I guess right now I just need to let go of that. And I want to encourage you that if you're going through a situation that's similar to me, um, as single parents, we have this huge burden on our shoulders where we need to do everything. And we want to do everything, and we want to give our children a better life than the reality of what they're getting right now, right? And so sorry, allergies are really getting me right now. And so it can be so hard as a single parent. And part of this, of what I'm grieving, is I just wanted to give them a home. I wanted that white picket fence. Disney and Hollywood lie to us, and they think that everything's going to be perfect when we grow up, and it's not. We need to work through issues that we might have, and maybe we have been innocent and tried not to um, harm people, but sometimes there's collateral damage when we're just trying to live out of survival, and we may not mean to harm people, but sometimes that we do, and that's what's happened in my life. And I have so much love for my children that they are the least people that I ever wanted to hurt. But as Mother's Day approaches, and maybe you're like me, where um, just your relationships with your one child or family members aren't perfect, I want to encourage you that to look within and to focus on the positive, to focus on things that you can be grateful for, to focus on things that you did do right, and that in a year or 2 years, it's going to be different. And all we can control is the moment. All we can control is the reality of our life right now. And I hope that you can find hope and courage to, being a woman, it means so much more than just being a mother. Maybe you're grieving not being able to have a child. Maybe you're grieving having a miscarriage. Maybe you're grieving being confused in this world. There's so many confusing messages that we have right now. And I just want to encourage you to look within, tune into your heart, tune into what you do have. And if you need a little bit more support, I have been processing grief and changes for decades. Grief can be something where we grieve a positive thing, you know? And so I put together this special course, a special program, and it's on my website at My Courageous Masterpiece. It's called Grieving Gracefully. And what I love most about this program is that it can help you, those of you who might feel stuck in the grief process. You know, grief is one of those weird emotions where we can experience anger, and we can experience confusion or feeling stuck or just navigating so much change. And sometimes we can feel guilty. We might feel guilty for moving forward. We might feel guilty for wanting to live our life. We might feel guilty for if somebody passed away that we're not able to live and enjoy those moments together with them. And there's just so many deep layers that are associated to grief that I have put together this special program that incorporates my best tools and resources that have helped me navigate this change and navigate grief for decades. And I'm an artist. I have used art to process grief in many ways and many times along my journey. And scratchy nose today. And, that's just been one tool that I've used. So I am really excited about what it offers. Yesterday I tallied up all the different things that it offers, and it's over almost a $900 value. And I'm only offering it for $47, which is a huge, huge value. And, I just want to support people, but also I need income as well. So this is just a way that I can put the things that I've done and my experience and my expertise into the world. And hopefully that can be a blessing to you. Thank you for joining. I would love to hear any comments. If you like this message, like, share, and subscribe. It means so much to me for the support, more than you know. Thank you so much. God bless.